Hey guys, Stephanie Sinclair here. Are you looking for a way to speed up your manifestation? I have been in the manifestation game now for at least 10 years, at least, of consciously co-creating. And I am going to tell you the one secret that works in almost every area of your life directly related to the law of assumption, and it's all about free will. No matter what it is you're trying to manifest, a person, and we know how I feel about specific person, but you can do it. Whether it's a person or people reacting a certain way, stick with me. I've got a little insight for you. Okay, guys, here we go. One of the biggest things that I realized years ago is that in the game of manifestation, in the game of law of assumption, and really all of the universal laws, because I don't really pick and choose. I think the law of assumption is one of the easier ones to begin to adopt, but they're all at work at one time. Every last one of them, including the law of attraction and the law of polarity and the law of cause and effect, all of them are all working at the same time. But one of the things that I caught on quickly that covers multiple universal laws and that works to get your manifestation quickly is recognizing your role in the God power in your life, recognizing that role that you hold. When you recognize that specific role, you understand that in your experience, no one has free will. Now, I want you to stick with me because we know that everyone has free will, but in your life, in your experience, no one has free will. And the quicker you really step into the fact that the only reason you're experiencing the things that you experience are because you are allowing them. Now, we can say create them, but most of the time we are not consciously creating these things. But what you are doing is you are allowing them. Now, I'm going to explain this principle to you, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of story time. And I want to give you this story time because I feel like when people talk about free will, they want to go to SP. And guys, I'm fine with talking about SP. You know, I don't like the idea of manifesting exes back, but manifesting new relationships, but you can manifest the SP. Like, nobody said you couldn't. I don't like the idea of doing that, and I explained it in a video, maybe like 3 or 4 videos from now. So if you want to go look at that and see why, sure. But this works for everything. But I want to give you a little story time that has nothing to do with the SP and everything to do with bending the wheel of other people, because in your experience, no one has free will. I want you to write this down. In my experience, no one has free will in your experience. So if they're going to be a part of your experience, they have to do what it is that you want them to do. And this is everybody. All right. So the only reason you are experiencing where someone is doing something outside of what you desire and it persists, they continue to do that, is because you have decided that they have the right of way. You have decided that what they want to do is more important than how you want to experience things in your life. So you have to be willing to prioritize your experience of, like, knock on, like, it's not wood, but you knock on something tangible. You have to be willing to prioritize your experience in this 3D world. Your experience in this 3D world has to be more important than how someone else feels about a thing or what someone else says about a thing. And this is the thing, for so many people, that would come off as being arrogant. It would come off as being selfish. But let me tell you this. One important thing is it's your life. You are supposed to be selfish with the experiences in your life. We're talking about your experience. We're talking about your 3D reality. And if you aren't consciously creating the things that's in your tangible reality, who the hell else is going to do it? And so you have to get to a point where you have to say, I don't care what you think you're going to do. I don't care how you think you're going to react. I don't care what you think this is going to turn out to be. I am telling you what it is with a period behind it. And you have to have so much gumption. You have to have so much determination. You have to have so much stick-to-itiveness around that you are unwilling to bend with that at all. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an example. And I honestly use this for people all the time, whether it's getting, specific clients to do certain things. Like, my clients have no choice but to win in their businesses because I've decided it. They're going to win because in my experience, my clients come back to me and they tell me that they've signed $50,000 clients, $100,000 clients. This is my experience of my clients in my life. So if that's my experience, then it has to happen over there for them. Hopefully you understand that. So I'm going to give you this little example. Of course, we know it's 2021. We are almost in 2022. It is the week of Christmas, and we probably only have a couple more videos before the end of the year. But one of the things that I can say has been really big in 2022 is rent prices soaring. Okay. If you guys know that rent prices are soaring. So if you lease your home, it's through the roof. If you are buying, the interest rates are low, but if you can find a house because of the housing shortage, you are paying way over asking price and most of the time way over the appraised value. So let's get that out the way. So for those who don't know, I recently bought a house in Italy. Something I haven't announced yet is I've recently bought some land so I can start building on it. But I am actually leasing my home in Alpharetta, Georgia, which is about 15 minutes north of Buckhead, which is a part of Atlanta. So I am leasing my house. I love my house. When I moved into my house 3 years ago, May will make 3 years. May or March? I think it's May will make 3 years that May? Is that right? Anyway, it's close enough, guys. Close enough. May will make 3 years that I have been in my home, and like my rent has been the same. Everything's been all good. I love my landlord. It's privately owned homes and they are, you know, renting out. They have a real estate agent and that's how I ended up getting the house. Okay, great. Have great relationship with them. Well, during the pandemic, I don't know if you've noticed, but rent prices, again, through the roof. So a house in my neighborhood just rented for double what I pay maybe 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago. Now, I have been out of my lease since May of last year. They didn't push it. I didn't push it. And so I've just kind of been going on. But I remember when I started noticing rent prices and I said to a friend, and listen, this is how we manifest stuff all the time. Y'all saw how I try not to curse. We manifest stuff all the time because I said to a friend, crap, this place around the corner just rented for double what I pay. I really hope like my landlords don't see this because they could ask for it. And then what would I do? Like, what would I do? Like at the moment I wasn't in my power because I know what Stephanie's going to do. Okay. So anyway, long story short, ended up getting an email from the real estate agent who basically handles the rental. And they were letting me know that my rent is going up by $1,000. Now that's not double because I pay a lot more than that, but $1,000 increase on rent. And they sent it like on December 9th to go up on January 1st. And like, that just seems unreasonable to me. That seems very, very unreasonable. Not only did it not sound unreasonable, I knew I was not going to pay it. And I was so upset. And he like sent over like comps from the area. I don't need comps. Like, I'm an educated woman. Literally, I am on top of real estate. I mean, of course, they don't know all the deals that I have going in the background. So, you know, maybe he don't know that. Whatever. So anyway, so he ended up sending me the comps or whatever. And still, all I know is I'm not paying this. So he basically said, you sign this new lease at this new rate, or we'll take this as your 60-day notice. So I reach out to him. He's like, listen, this is what the comps are. This is what it is. And what Stephanie knew, let me tell you this right now. Stephanie understood that manifestations happen quickly when you take control over other people's free will because you're taking control over your experience. And what I knew is that within my experience, my rent was not going up $1,000. Now, I've been here, you know, right at 3 years, so I understand an increase. But I meant like an increase of $100 with a period behind it. I was not, no. We just came out of a pandemic. People were not even paying their rent. People were literally going a whole year, did not pay rent. Stephanie didn't miss the rent days. Most of the time, Stephanie paid her rent early. And we're going to go up on my rent $1,000 to tell me I have to move. The devil is a lie. That was not happening. So even after he told me that he would accept it as my 60-day notice, I said, oh no, I'm not moving. And he was like, well, this is the best that we can do. I sat with that for a moment. I decided, listen, my landlord loves me. I am like the best tenant in the world. I don't bother you. I don't mess with you about anything. I pay you consistently. I pay you on time. I pay you early when everybody else was not paying their rent because they did not have to during the pandemic. Stephanie continued to pay her rent because I knew you had mortgage. Could I have pulled that note and said, you know, like, oh, like maybe business went down, or just made up something in order to get out because it was during the pandemic and you couldn't evict? Absolutely, I could have, but I didn't, right? And so I decided that I am a person who does right by people, and so my landlord was going to do right by me. So I sat with that real quick, and then I immediately messaged my landlord, and I brought up the whole situation, and I said the whole thing about me moving within 60 days. And my landlord called me, and my landlord said to me, Stephanie, you don't have to worry. You do not have to move. We do not want you to move. You have been such a blessing in our life during the pandemic that we knew your property was one we did not have to worry about. Let me talk to the real estate agent. We're going to work it out. So they came back, and they came back wanting to go up a couple hundred. And remember what I said to you, I'm going up 100, no more. And I just was really honest. I was like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I only feel comfortable going up 100. It makes sense to go up. I've been here. There has not been an increase at all. So I totally get it. I totally understand. And okay. Long story short, I'm going to go into a new lease. Not only am I going to go into the new lease, at $100 increase, and only the $100 increase. The increase does not start until June of next year. And I'm going to do a 2-year lease to lock me into that with a clause for me to get out since I am building a house. So anyway, yesterday I talked to the real estate agent who kept persisting. Well, it wasn't my decision because I would never have done that. With the comps in the neighborhood, she should have at least gone up on you $1,000. I said, I understand what you're saying, but it's not your choice. Can you go ahead and send me that new lease? I'm going to go ahead and sign that new lease. Thank you so much. And we went on about my way. I said this to say, because that real estate agent was like, no, you're going to pay this or you're going to move, and I'm accepting this that you're not going to move. And I decided that within Stephanie's experience, that was not the truth. We're in the #1 school district. I love my child's school. I love my house. I'm comfortable. I don't feel like packing. I'm not going to pack. It's in the middle of winter time. I'm not going to move in the middle of winter time. And I have a great relationship with my landlord, and she is happy, and so am I. And I decided that that was not going to happen. Now, did I create that in that conversation? Probably. But can we make corrections when we manifest something? Absolutely. So if you manifest something negatively, you can fix it by affirming, deciding something completely different. And I was so sure. When I tell you, I was so sure that the rent was not going to be going up on it. I literally decided and was like, that's it. And I'm not moving. Hell no, I'm not moving. I love living here. My landlord love living here. Listen. This doesn't just work in this situation. People always talk about this when they're talking about manifesting partners, manifesting SPs. This works for everything. This works for your boss at work. This works for your parents. This works for your husband, the one you land, or your wife that you lay next to every day. This works for your children. Let me tell you something. I have manifested my son washing dishes on his own and actually getting them clean. Let's add that part. If you're a parent, you go understand that conversation. Because at first that felt like such a chore of trying to make him do it. And then finally I was like, absolutely not. He's going to do it because I said it. Except I was not going to be like the traditional parent and say that. I decided within me he's going to do it because I said that my son helps me around the house, and that at the end of the day, he washes dishes or he puts them in the dishwasher. But when we go to bed, that kitchen is clean because he did it, and he did it on his own. And one day, you know, I was in there and I was washing the dishes because I decided I did not want to go that route anymore. And he looked at me and was like, oh, mama, you've been working all day. Let me just go on. And he was like, go on, move. Let me wash dishes. That child washed those dishes, and I went on about my business, and we haven't had a problem since. You do not have free will in my experience. You have free will in your experience. So much so that you decided on your own that you're going to do your chores. without me making you. Because if you knew the count of, listen, I can give you parenting stories and using this in parenting, right? My landlord didn't have any free will. I decided, and she literally decided, when I decided that she loved me so much that she didn't want me to move, she decided that. She decided she loved me so much and didn't want me to move. She decided that it was more of a benefit for me to stay and pay consistently than to have me move and take your chances on somebody else who's paying way more than I'm paying in a time when people are missing rent left and right. This works on everything. I'm using it right now on somebody. Literally, while I've been filming this video, a Marco Polo video came through because I literally decided before I got on this video, oh, they are going to message me back. I said what I said, and they're going to message me back, and all is well. So I want you to understand that the only thing that's slowing your manifestations is you have given people power in your reality. No one has power in my reality. Repeat after me. No one has power in my reality. Say it again. No one has power in my reality. One more time. No one has power in my reality. And I want you to know that, and I want you to stick to it, and I want you to go forth, be great, and come back and tell me about all your manifestations. It's Stephanie Sinclair. If you haven't liked, commented, go ahead and do so. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, drop them. As you know, I definitely speak back. I'm not that dang on busy. And my last client for the holidays was last Friday, so I got time. All right, talk to y'all later.